Hello and welcome to Glasgow Rangers Nation. This is your match day news. Yes, guys, it is our favourite, I suppose, favourite time of the week. It can also be the worst time of the week, depending on obviously the outcome of the day. You know, it's weird, isn't it, that someone's day, stroke week, can depend all on the fortunes of one football team on a Saturday or a Sunday, isn't it? You know, a victory and you're up and you're excited and you're happy for a day or the whole week. A defeat and you're down the dumps and you feel like awful. I feel like a really naughty word, like crap, shall we say, for a whole week. But you know, look, let's hope today that we obviously come the end of the game, come 4:45, 5 o'clock, whatever time the game finishes, with obviously all that added time that gets put on these days, that we are feeling elated, happy, and positive about the week ahead. And we've got 3 points in the bag against Hearts. And look, given what happened on Saturday, I think it is absolutely vital, isn't it, that we get those 3 points. Yes, that lot from across the city, much to their much to their counter argument, are in a position where we can actually catch up with them. I've heard, well, we're 8 points ahead of you. Yeah, but you played a game more than us, and if we win our game in hand, you're 5 points. So you start keeping quiet if I were you, especially with 3 old firm games still to come. And I don't think it's the end of you dropping points, given the fact that I don't think Celtic are the same force they were last season. So today's game against Hearts at Ibrox, is even more important. I think the fact that they're getting 3 points and continuing the good run that Philippe Clement has had over these last 2 games. A fabulous result, obviously, against Hibs last Saturday with a fantastic 4-0 victory. Yes, against the same team that drew 0-0 with Celtic. And then a battling, fighting draw against Sparta Prague on Thursday. A game that I think under Michael Beale we would have lost. A disappointing first half, but a much better second half in the last 20 minutes in particular, where we really sort of upped the pressure and I think looked like we could easily come away with the 3 points. The bar saving Sparta from Danilo's fantastic shot. Well, that's where I want to start today. I want to start by talking about Danilo. Now, Danilo has been out for a number of weeks, straight months, with the eye socket fracture that he had. He's come back, wears his mask. And do you know what? He's played, obviously, that limited time against Hibs, played in the B team the next day, and obviously came on for the last 20 minutes, half an hour against Sparta Prague, whatever it was. Got to slip my mind how long it was again now. But Danilo, for me, when he came on Thursday, we looked a better team. We looked more energetic going forward. He held the ball up better than Dessers. He provided more outballs, more options. His pace troubled their defence. Yes, I know it's near the end of the game, so they are tiring. Understand that. He had that great chance that, but for the keeper's touch, would have nestled in the back of the net. He looked more lively. He looked more of a threat. Now, Philippe Clement has spoken about Dessers, and he's talked about Danilo, and he's talked about the fact that he's not fully match fit yet. We still need to get minutes into him. We do need him to be our number 9, which tells me that Clement is very much thinking about Danilo as our starting number 9, something I 100% agree with. I think whatever the situation, going into tomorrow's game, and you often see managers start players who aren't, 100% match fit in games. And even if we can get 50, 60 minutes out of them, and then you've got to make a change and bring on Dessers, well, you know what? Coming on as a sub might suit Dessers better. To be honest with you, that's where he did better work for Feyenoord. That's where he did better, where he got his goals for Cremonese, coming in off the bench against a tiring defence. So that might work out better. I'm not saying he's going to be a world beater coming on, because I very much think he's more of a carpet beater than a world beater. But I just feel that for me, that Danilo has to be given the option to start. He is just a better all-round player. Like I said, he's faster, his touch is better, he can go past the man, he's got a trick in his locker. The other thing about Danilo is the fact that he is not afraid of taking a shot. He's not afraid of having a go from outside the box, and something that we are, without Tom Lawrence, sadly lacking. I know Nico Raskin did it last week, which was fantastic, and then he obviously tried it again on Thursday night and it went hideously wrong. But Danilo is the type of player that will bring an energy to an effervescence to our attack, and I think it's something we're missing with Searle Dessers. Dessers, for me, and his mate Lammers, and we'll talk about those two shortly, he doesn't hold the ball up very well. He struggles to jump people. He's got no pace. He's offside more often than not. For me, Danilo has got to be the starting centre forward for Rangers. He just is the better player. And even if he's not 100% fit, you play him for 60 minutes. You start with your best team, your strongest team. And for me, Danilo has to be in that strongest team because he is a better player than Searle Dessers. It is blindingly obvious to anybody who knows anything about football. So for me, I really want to see Danilo start tomorrow. And as I, revealed on the podcast last night, if you didn't catch the podcast last night, the Reflection and Review podcast, then please obviously go back and check that out. I had a good live chat, a great live chat with the guys, some fantastic comments from everybody. So please go and check that out. But this is the team I revealed on that pod last night, a team that I would like to see to play today. Sorry, I'm recording this on Saturday night. Today against Hearts. Jack Butland in goal. Jack picked himself. Jack is just the best keeper in Scotland and rapidly becoming one of the best goalkeepers in Britain again. Tav and Goldson, look, we can have the debate over Tav and Goldson. I really do think that these two will play the rest of the season. What happens with them in the summer, who knows? Once Clement gets his opportunity to mould this squad more to his way of thinking. Suter alongside Goldson. Yilmaz for me has to start, even if Barisic is fit. I don't want to see Barisic on the team. I just think he's too negative. He passes back too much. He's too retrospective. He's just not a good enough player. Yilmaz offers so much more going forward, and he's better defensively than Borna Barisic. So for me, Yilmaz has to start. Raskin and Jack, I think John Lundstrom's played a lot of minutes recently, so give Jack the start. Yes, I would love to see Bailey Rice play, but I think realistically, we're not going to see many young players yet. Nico Raskin, that would give him the opportunity to be what he is, which is a number 8. Let him get forward. Let him go box to box. Jack will sit and protect the back 4. Your 3 behind the striker, McCausland. I want to see Ross McCausland get a chance. I think he's a great player, and he's shown energy, desire to get forward, desire to create for others. Give him a start. Let's see how he does. Cantwell, for me, has to play as a 10. As a 10, he gives him the free role, gives him the ability to go where he wants, to create, to take defenders away. We saw against Hibs how good he is at doing that. He took 4 defenders away, played that no-look passing, and even Searle Dessers scored from it. Abdallah Sima, who has been phenomenal for us, he's a player that obviously has to start. I mean, he's a top goal scorer. He's great going forward. He's aggressive. He runs well. He's got good pace. He provides a pace and a width to the attack. So Sima has to start. And like I've already mentioned, I would be starting Danilo up front. As for the bench, it's going to be the same old faces because we're limited, obviously, by the fact that Matondo is out, Lawrence is out, etc., etc. Now, 2 players I don't want to see in the starting lineup, and you've seen from that. 2 players that I don't want to see anywhere near this starting lineup on Sunday, but I do fear that we will see them, is Sam Lammers. These 2 here have been so far very, very underwhelming. I'm trying to be nice here. But look, everyone talks about Sam Lammers being the player in there somewhere. There's a creative influence in there. He's got a good technical ability, a good skill level. He again against Sparta, he was last 20 minutes he came out of himself a little bit, but the vast majority of the game his performance was insipid. He worked hard against Hibs, but didn't create a great deal. And that chance that he missed in the box, Sam Lammers. Look, I've been trying to stick up for Sam Lammers recently. I really have been trying hard to back him, to try and get him to show that he has got opportunity and praised him for his hard work. But I just don't see it. And I just don't see how you can play him as a 10 ahead of Cantwell. Cantwell's just a better player, an all-round better player. And even Dowell, when he's fit, is a better player if he ever gets fit. But look, Sam Lammers is just, I don't know, he is an enigma. He really is an enigma. And you can't put him out wide. You can't play him as your main striker. And like I said, he just isn't as good as Cantwell. You put him in ahead of Cantwell, or you move Cantwell out to the width, or you move Cantwell back. You just diminish what Cantwell does. And for me, you have to give Cantwell that free role. Dessers, look, he's a nice guy. Don't get me wrong. He's a nice guy. And I don't hate him, contrary to what people might think. But he's just too slow. He can't hold the ball up, so he can't get out. He doesn't link play well. He scored 4 goals, yes, but 3 of them were lucky. 1 was a pen, 2 in off him. And then obviously the one we got last week was obviously mainly down to the fantastic work of Todd Cantwell. But he looked awful against a better level of opposition. Against Sparta Prague, he again looked absolutely dreadful. Like I said, Danilo is the better player. He is just the all-round better player. I mean, the situation is that we're going to have to use him, and we're going to have him as a backup at least for the rest of the season, given the fact that Kemar Roofe is again injured. And I think Philippe Clement is very much at the end of his tether with these players that keep getting injured all the time. The Kemar Roofes, the Tom Lawrences of this world. I could well see them being shipped out at the end of the season. Obviously, Roofe's out of contract. So, look, at the end of the day, I just feel that with Dessers, he is an experiment gone wrong. He is a player that perhaps 2-3 years ago, when Beale started tracking him, so he told us, he was he was a decent player, but now he's not. He's 28 years old. He's not going to get any better. He's not going to develop. He's not going to get faster. His skill level is not going to go up because he's not a young player anymore. He's in fact going to get slower, and he's going to diminish in ability because as you get older, your pace starts to go, as you've seen with Barisic and Tavernier. So theoretically, a guy who's already quite slow is going to get even slower, which is not good for this club. Like I said, we do have to keep using him, unfortunately, because Kemar Roofe has again let us down with his fitness. And I think whatever the operation was that was meant to have sorted him out has failed. He seems to pick up quite a few knocks again. And I think it's time. Look, I've defended Kemar Roofe. I've been an advert for Roofe. But I just think now with the amount of injuries he just keeps getting, it's time to cut our losses and get rid sooner rather than later. And that frees up a spot on the squad because it frees up wages. So we can perhaps go and get somebody else who will be more present and more able to do a job for Rangers. As for the game today, guys, we do need to the win. I think we want to win. I think I'm going to go for a 4-0 victory. Again, another clean sheet and 4 good goals yet again for the boys in Royal Blue. Well, let me know what you think in the comments down below. Remember, we've got a live stream today of the game, so come and join us for that. And we will be going live before that with the team news as well. So keep looking out for that, guys. I will schedule it very soon. Thank you for watching. And as always, 2 things I want you to do for me on the way out. Number 1 is smash the like. And number 2 is to remember we are the